Hello, this is Taryn Hawk, and today I'm going to give you some valuable information regarding unlocking the door to continuous improvement by looking at our current reality in Minneapolis Elementary School in USD 239. Victoria Bernhardt identifies several phases of continuous improvement in her book, Using Data to Improve Student Learning in Elementary Schools. What are the benefits to you of engaging in continuous school improvement? First, it helps us to adapt to ever-changing school environments, student populations, and increasing demands for accountability. Second, it helps us to be more innovative and effective in reducing the need for frequent drastic changes. And finally, it is a way to ensure that we never quit striving to improve, as well as making our school more resistant to the forces that cause backsliding. Each phase has specific questions that must be answered throughout the continuous improvement cycle. The first phase, which will be addressed in this presentation, has to do with information and analysis. The questions we will be looking into more deeply are: who are we, how do we do business, and where are we now? The following phases: student achievement, quality planning, leadership, implementation strategies, and evaluation, are topics in the Planning for Continuous Improvement framework that will be addressed at a later date. Bernhardt reminds us that the value in determining who we are, in this case our students, is that it establishes a context for the classroom and school, which will help us plan for students with these characteristics in the future. The second question, how do we do business, deals more specifically with the culture and climate of our school. This portion of information and analysis will require further investigation on our part at a later date to dig deeper into the perceptions, school processes, and values and beliefs that impact student achievement. Finally, we can begin to get a better idea of where we are now by taking a look at summaries of student achievement in math and reading and making connections between this set of data, our student demographics, and the school processes. We will, of course, look into our perceptual data once we have a more comprehensive set of data to add to the mix. Large collections of data are pointless to education systems unless it is analyzed with the purpose of answering questions that lead to understanding both our effectiveness as well as what needs to be done differently. To answer the first question, who are we, in today's case with complete emphasis on the student's population, we will look at demographic data, including ethnicity, the economically disadvantaged, and our students with disabilities. For the purpose of this presentation, all data has been reorganized into graphical form in order to summarize what the data is telling us. Kansas has an overall ethnic population totaling 35.43%, while our district come in much lower at 10.5% and 10.4% respectively. The highest minority population for all three are Hispanic students, with an overall 9% in Kansas, while our district and school again come in lower than the state average at approximately 5%. Regarding students from economically disadvantaged families, the state came in slightly higher than our district and school, with 48.3%. while our percentages were 45.62% for the district and 47.87% for the school. While looking for trends with low SES students, the state has decreased by 1.6% since 2013, while our district and state have risen some in the same time by 2.44% district-wide and 4.1% school-wide. The next demographic, disabilities, finds our district and state much higher than the state average, which runs around 14.42%, while our district came in at 20.45% and our school even higher at 21.65%. The data for the state shows a marginal increase over the previous year by increasing by 6.69%. Oddly, our district and state information indicates an incorrect reporting on KSDE report card because the district shows an 11.39% increase and our school shows an increase of 19.29%. This requires further looking into. As mentioned previously, the next question, how do we do business, with respect to school culture, climate, and organizational processes, requires a closer look post-presentation in order to adequately summarize the data into meaningful information using perceptual data, school processes, and values and beliefs. This type of data is not currently available through the KSDE report card. The next question in this phase of planning for continuous school improvement is, where are we now? Which I've isolated for the moment to include only our students. First, let's take a look at what connections can be made by looking at attendance and graduation rates. Kansas has a very high attendance rate at 94.7%, which is only slightly lower than our district and school attendance rates, both falling in at 95.4%. However, despite high attendance in Kansas, the state graduation rate is significantly below our district's 94.4% at only 86.9%. Next, we're going to take a closer look at how our school's math performance is. The indicated levels range from 1 to 4, with 1 being lowest and 4 being highest. A level 1 indicates limited ability, level 2 is basic ability, level 3 is proficient ability, and level 4 is excellent or exceeding grade level abilities. The data from state, district, and school all indicate small overall drops in scores between 2016 and 2017. Kansas's most recent scores show that only 34.16% of students were proficient or above in math, while our district came in slightly above the state with 37.41%. Our school was quite a bit higher at 44.62%. This stimulates a few questions regarding the data. What changed between 2016 and 17 that led to our school's drop of 2.53%? One possible answer to this question is our school's adoption and implementation of a new math series and curriculum for the 2017 school year. In addition, grades 4 through 6 have reported moving at a very slow pace and only completed about half of the content that the curriculum requires. Also, what school processes do we have in place that are allowing our school to outperform both our district and state in math? KSD report card for ELA shows our state had an overall drop in score between 2016 and 2017. Kansas's most recent scores show that only 38.21% of students were proficient or above in ELA, while our district came in slightly below the state with 36.55%. Our school was quite a bit higher at 45.18%. Again, the data begs the question, what changed between 2016 and 17 that led to our school's drop of 7.65% in ELA, which is more than the state's drop of only 3.47%. In prior reading team meetings, we have discussed our need to update our current reading series and curriculum. For the last few years, it has become apparent that many classrooms are not teaching the reading curriculum with fidelity. Finally, what school processes do we have in place that are continuing to allow our school to outperform both our district and state in ELA? An important factor to consider throughout the planning for continuous school improvement is evaluation. Our efforts cannot wait to be evaluated at the final phase of the framework, but should be done on an ongoing basis to ensure that we improve student outcomes for all students. In future meetings, we will continue to delve deeper into deeper components of continuous school improvement by seeking to answer questions like, where do we want to be? What are the gaps? How do we get there? And how do we implement? In the meantime, if you would like to take a look at the KSDE report card, it can help give you more insight into our students and their current achievement. Until we meet again, thank you for your commitment to your students' growth.